Smaller farms were the main source of food before the Industrial Revolution. Many of the smaller farms ran by families were forced to fuse into larger farms. The plow was one of the tools that made the larger farms more successful than the smaller farms, allowing them to farm more crops and farm them faster. Because there was more, they could sell them cheaper and still make profit. Often families of the smaller farms were forced out of business, leaving them broke, and would soon starve, so they were forced to send their children to factories that were unsafe and unfit to work in. These factories, often with their unsafe conditions and the fact that there were young bodies operating large machines, often caused many accidents and sometimes even death or loss of limb. Many children became sick. Most of the factory workers were immigrants who came to America for work. Many came with little money and were forced to live back in spaces that were very hazardous with health and risks of fire. There was sometimes no fire escapes. Even with the unsafe factory and living conditions, the cities during the Industrial Revolution were booming, bringing in more money than ever thanks to few useful inventions they were now able to trade around the world. One of the many small inventions that had a booming effect was the cotton gin. It allowed the owner to mass produce cotton and more efficiently. They could now make it more off it and sell it at a cheaper price because of its mass abundance. A huge effect of the cotton gin was that because the cotton was cheaper, it meant that factories could buy more of it and make more textile, making them cheaper and more affordable, so now everyone could afford clothing. The invention of the steamboat made travel and trade cheaper. It was also a lot faster. It also allowed the rest of the world to be influenced by Europe's Industrial Revolution and want to follow suit. The Industrial Revolution changed people's lives. It gave people jobs and made life easier for them. It allowed cheaper products. It also encouraged immigration, which made cultural diffusion, bringing new religions and culture. All information and pictures were taken from Google and Wikipedia.